a weekend and a Friday and Saturday in particular, that absolutely lived up to the bill through and through. As we turn our attention to Athens, let's start with before we get into nitty gritty and nuance. Let's start low hanging fruit. Y'all cool with that? We'll just reach up and grab some low hanging fruit. Bud Elliott, did Alabama win this or did Georgia lose it?
I think Bama won it by totally just pantsing the Georgia defensive coaching staff in the first half again. That's 2 years in a row where, Deboer just whips Georgia in the first half on the chalkboard. Like, they look totally confused by what Deboer had for them. And to Georgia's credit, they make great adjustments. They did have a chance to come back in the second half and at least tie or win this thing. But like those 24 points you scored in the first half, that was all you needed. Like, in hindsight, they threw the knockout blow before the half ended. That's 2 years in a row.
Tough loss for the over. Tough loss for the unity.
Yeah.
Traitor.
I know the traitor won because Ryan Williams can't catch. And who dropped the touchdown for Georgia? There's 2 drop touchdowns in this damn game. We lost the over by 7.5 points.
As Aaron Tippin once sang, you got to stand for something or fall for anything. And over and over again, Georgia just keeps falling for Kalen Deboer's tricks in the first half, guys.
All right, so if we're ranking quarterbacks, what's the lowest you're ranking Ty Himpson?
1. Oh, in the SEC?
Just overall, period.
Oh. Like, just based off this game?
Like, he can't be worse than top 5 at this point.
No,
right?
No, absolutely not.
Because he did not play great in the Florida State game, but he's been absolutely incredible since.
We talked about this about FSU. Like, he knew where to go with the ball. It just seemed like he was a second late to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight the moment was not too big. I thought at times in Tallahassee it was. That's not saying just first real road start for the guy. Does his crow hop into these throws? Like, dude, you have a lot of time. To me, like, that kind of was a big middle finger to Georgia. Honestly, like, girl, I'm gonna have time to crow hop into some of these throws and just throw it through your chest. And it's just what we saw against Tennessee. Georgia doesn't have difference makers on the edge this year pass rushing. They don't.
Well, also, let's give some credit to Alabama's offensive line that, we were kind of looking at and calling into question. I think Caden Proctor heard that look like Tarzan, play like Jane conversation and was like, give me the ball. I'm going to take this thing right. I will show you exactly what Tarzan looks like.
370. Like, we want to see you do something. He did it. That was great.
Would Caden Proctor be the best wide receiver in Iowa right now?
Yes.
Would Caden Proctor be the best receiver on best? No, just kidding. But
no, I think that there's just something that, the real maturity, unfortunately, because of the scars of last season for Alabama fans, the real test of maturity is going to be how you handle it. But man, what a showing for them to come in and be able to carry that attitude, because when they did it to Georgia last year, we didn't really have any reason to doubt them. But it was kind of oh, wow. Like, look at what you were able to do in this epic back and forth. Maybe Kalen Deboer's really got it. But, then after having to deal with if I win the lottery, I'm going to buy out Kalen Deboer. And, all of all this negativity that was surrounding the program after losing as a double-digit favorite time after time after time. Man, I really enjoyed getting getting that Ty Simpson firing up the team before they run onto the field. Ty Simpson is the leader of this team, somebody who definitely could have hit the transfer portal multiple times after losing the starting quarterback battle to Jalen Milroe. And so, Tom, to bring it back to what you were saying, he has waited for this moment, and all he has done is answer it. And now, he's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the entire country, and maybe going to be in the running for a lot of individual accolades at the very highest level. We mentioned in the big game breakdown, I'm pretty sure, that this could be the Ty Simpson breakout game. Would you say that this is the Ty Simpson breakout game?
I would hope so. 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, not eye-popping numbers, but he was just making plays. And we saw like this. And if Ryan Williams catches that one pass, he's probably got 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he played very well. He looked really good. And this was, you go to Alabama's run game, it did not really play very well in this one. I mean, the throw to Caden Proctor counted as a run because it was backwards pass. But if we take that out, no, it's just overall, they still only averaged 3 yards per carry. And they had to really put the game on Simpson's shoulders to move the ball. And in the second half, things got bogged down quite a bit because, like Bud was mentioning, Georgia did the thing they do where they adjust in the second half. They should probably consider trying to figure things out before games start going forward. But whatever, they've won national titles. I haven't. I'll leave that to them. But I just think that overall, like, he played very well. I think the receivers, we've talked about them, they have very good ones, and I think they have more than one option. They've got 2, 3, 4 different options, and I think that is going to help them going forward in the SEC. But at the same time, we've also saw last year Alabama beat Georgia, and then it lost to Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. So they can't do the thing they did last year where they all right, we won the big game, we can relax. You have to keep up that intensity every week. And we'll see if they can. I think they could, because I think part of the reason is with Jalen Milroe at quarterback, I think you're more prone to the offense stalling out because the passing game just might not be there. And if they know you're going to run, it's much easier to stop the run. With Ty Simpson, I don't think that'll be the case. I think Georgia's offense has a higher floor than it did last year, if maybe not the same ceiling as it maybe, a Jalen Milroe offense has. So I do think this team will be more immune to that, but we'll see.
They still give up 227 rushing. FSU ran all over them. Like, there's no actual evidence that Alabama can be a good run defense so far under Kalen, or under Womack rather, like the D coordinator. And there's really no evidence they can handle a mobile quarterback, like, so far. We just, I'm not saying they cannot, but like, to this point, Bama has 17 games under Deboer now. They haven't shown zero proof they can handle any of that kind of stuff. So, like, next week against Vandy is a real test.
All right, you ready?
They'll be underdogs. I'm not saying Vandy will win, but like, we do kind of have to see that, like, to believe it at this point, because they've been flat out bad against that kind of stuff under Womack.
Yeah, Georgia popped for runs of 24, 29, 43, 43, and 21 in this game.
And why'd they give the ball to Cash Jones?
I don't know, man. Bobo.
You're not going to give it to Frazier because he fumbles all the time. Like, if
but Bowens was good.
Frazier, right?
You've got somebody who's like bigger, and I mean, he's LT Overton. He's going to go play in the NFL. That's like, the fact that he was able to shed a blocker, get into the backfield, and disrupt him enough to trip him up. I get it. Like, that's that you, in the sense, you tip your cap. But if you wanted to be, if a Georgia fan is listening right now and was thinking the same thing, like, why is he getting the call on that big play right there? I would understand and maybe ask the same question.
Like, I just, from watching Georgia fans in the chat tonight in our tailgate, like, I think they wanted them to go for it or to kick the field goal rather. And I'm like, no, I think going's the right call, man. Just maybe run a different play. Also, like, how about the 3-and-out they have right after the stop they get?
Mm-hmm. Failed fourth down, but you get a stop, and then the next possession was horrendous. That's where the game was lost.
Wide open touchdown pass dropped. Okay. Yeah. And then you like miscommunicate on a 3rd and 9, and that's the ball game. Like, Bama's got a for sure draft pick at quarterback. Georgia's got a maybe draft pick at quarterback, right? That's kind of how I look at this. Like, they don't have a dude at QB. I'm not saying Stockton sucks. I think that's hyperbole. I don't think he's like a huge difference maker for you so far in his career. But I think you can win with him. I definitely can win with Simpson if he's going to throw the ball on time. Because, like, the ball's accurate. He's got real velocity on it. He seems to know where he's going with it. If it's on time, like it was tonight, he's pretty good.
Who's the best team in the SEC right now?
I don't know.
It's Alabama.
Probably, but that could change next week. I mean, it might be Ole Miss.
It might be Vanderbilt.
Might be.
I don't think it's Ole Miss, but
they're 3-0 in the SEC. We keep not thinking, and they keep winning.
That's true.
Before we get there to both,
the playoff.
before we get to both, well, they're over by October. That's what's really important here. As it was deemed, Vanderbilt over by October. It cuts both ways, right? Because on one hand, I understand the comment, and I agree that the stakes have been lessened by the expanded playoff for a game like Alabama, Georgia. You know, like I was on college football pregame today with an Alabama grad and a Georgia grad, and even they were talking to each other like, it feels like this game isn't even happening tonight. You know, just like another game. And compared to the pageantry and the hype that both of them experienced during their respective college experiences, they were sort of lamenting that. But at the same time, as we have to sit here and, break this thing down, do you know what else I'm feeling? I'm like, man, I'm really excited to see the rest of the season because both of these teams are still in it. I'm not ready to sell Alabama or Georgia in terms of trying to accomplish all of their goals because I think both of these teams are capable of winning an SEC championship. I think both these teams are capable of making the college football playoff. So there is a little bit less of the stakes going into a game, but coming out of it, I think it's perfectly fine to be able to not have to overreact and say, Georgia's done.
Yeah.
Unless you want to. That would make a great week. That's engagement farming right there.
Georgia's done.
There we go, Tom. I can always count on you.
They still have a pretty winnable schedule, right? Like
yes,
Georgia's
100%.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Like you get
Bud, real quick. When they ran onto the field last night, when they ran onto the field tonight, they were introduced in the stadium as the defending SEC champions, and you almost have to remember, it's like, oh yeah, they won this league last year,
right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a couple fairly easy weeks here coming up, so you get what? Kentucky, you get Auburn, and then you host Ole Miss. Yeah. So you're about to face two really bad quarterbacks in a row, and then you get Ole Miss. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I still think like real quick on like sort of my mental checklist, Bud's boy Colby Young not only just like continues to be really, really good, but also just kind of seems to be a good sideline guy. But Georgia's losing offensive linemen left and right, and he's like going in and like checking on them and helping them up and like hyping up the freshman who's having to come into the game and take on this big opportunity in a big stage. I know he had some incidents that kept him from being able to be on the field, but he does seem to be someone who is, bringing something to the team on the sideline in addition to his contributions on the field. Mentioned the Cash Jones thing. I thought Bowens was awesome. Alabama side, didn't see much from Jam Miller. I know he was back, but I didn't really feel like his impact was there.
I mean, he didn't pop one. I think like based on how much they fed him the ball that they thought he would, he did have 2 first downs catching it. By the way, on the play that Bama uses to seal it, they have 2 guys wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Like Georgia didn't cover it short or deep, but other than that, they had it pretty well taken care of.
Isaiah Horton had a good game.
Yeah,
heard of who?
That's a nice transfer pickup.
Yep, absolutely
for sure.
Okay.
Like also, like we could say this diminishes the meaning of the game. It did not diminish my enjoyment of the game. Like that was an awesome game to watch.
Yeah, I guess meaning is correct. Like I can't push back on meaning, but it diminishes the stakes.
Sure.
Because it still means a lot to a lot of people. There are still a lot of Alabama fans and a lot of Georgia fans who feel a lot of meaning tonight and felt a lot of emotions, even if their season wasn't on the line the same way it was in the BCS or the 4-team era. It still meant something. It's real to me, damn it.